the quarterbacks in whom we have the most confident in wild card weekend. Don't call it super wild card weekend. It has no powers. It cannot fly, but it can create some entertaining, dramatic football. Give me your first pick.
Well, all right, so there's all right, so we're taking it, right, according to the matchup, I guess, right, a little bit about who they're playing, right, because, I mean, again, if we were just going to go with purely like, hey, who's the best quarterback here, it's like, well, it's Josh Allen, right?
Confidence for this weekend.
Okay, all right.
Confidence this weekend. Who's the guy you're not worried about?
Matthew Stafford. I mean, I'll say it again. I don't give a damn about the Carolina Panthers fan base and getting on me, right? He made the mistakes the first time around. They went up and down the field on Carolina. They were never stopped the whole day. He threw an out route late and behind a guy. It was a pick six. He threw a ball too low and banged it off somebody's head, and it got popped in the air, and Derek Brown got, some hands up and got in the way a little bit. So other than that, it was surgical dissection, and they did whatever they wanted. And my, history kind of shows us with the Rams, right? When they don't play well or do certain things the first time, they usually seem a way to, oh, you did this to us, or you took away this. Well, we got this, right? And I got the most confidence in Matthew Stafford this weekend when it comes to play on the field.
I agree with you. And look, there's a couple of factors here that make it less likely that the Rams will have some sort of a lapse. They've already gone to Carolina and lost. They've learned from that. They're not going to take the Panthers lightly because they've already been beaten by them. Also, because it's the first game, because it's in the spot previously occupied by the Texans, right? The first of the 6 games, that Saturday afternoon game, that's the least attractive matchup of all of them when you consider both teams.
Yes,
and they're all pretty good. They're all pretty good. It's still not a bad game. But because the Rams are playing first, they won't know what a win means. They won't know that a victory means we're going to Seattle. And I think if they knew that, there's a greater chance of looking past the Panthers. So they get the best possible combination. They're not in a position where they know that a win sends them to Seattle, where I'm sure they'd love to go, and they're going against a team that's already caught them napping once. I have confidence in the entire Rams team in that spot, especially Matthew Stafford. All right, the next one for me. Man, it gets tough quickly.
It gets tough quickly, exactly right.
I do have confidence in Josh Allen. I don't have confidence in the team around him going against the Jaguars. It really is the damnedest thing. Josh Allen's the better quarterback by not as big of a gap as many would say, and the Jaguars are a better team right now by a larger gap than most would realize. I think that if any of these remaining quarterbacks is capable of elevating the team to do something that it objectively shouldn't, and that's what's weird about this. If the Bills win this game, people are going to be like, oh, the Bills finally woke up. It's like, no, the Bills aren't. Like, somebody said to me yesterday, and I think it's a great way to put it, the Bills' window has already closed. The only reason it doesn't look that way is because they have Josh Allen.
Exactly.
This is a team that shouldn't be in the playoffs. This is a team that should be rebuilding. The only reason they are not rebuilding is because they have Josh Allen. When you accept that, then yeah, I have confidence in him possibly being able to whip something together through his raw ability and carry the Bills to a competitive game and maybe a win.
Yeah, I hear you there. I certainly, Josh Allen, I do think is going to have to be at his best, right? I don't think that the Bills are as good as the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm a little sick of hearing this whole Josh Allen now, it's his chance because, Lamar and Mahomes and Burrow aren't in the playoffs.
But that's true.
It is.
But that's true. But the team around him isn't good enough.
Exactly. So that's a team sport. That's where I just go. It's not fair. Okay, it's open, great. But damn, it's still, you got to have the team there. He's not so great that he's just going to carry everybody to the Super Bowl and win it. So that's where it's tough. But yeah, I think he's going to have to be pretty special to do this. And I always got confidence in Josh Allen. So yeah, I'm with you there with that second pick.
All the more reason to watch what happens if the Bills lose. All the more reason. Keep an eye on Buffalo. Okay. Give me your next pick.
I'm going to go to Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to stay in that game. I am, just because I think that Buffalo's defense is in a little bit of a predicament here against Jacksonville's offense. That's my thought. You've heard me say all year, right, that Buffalo, when they have to worry about a team that has really good balance, that's when they really struggle. When they know a team's either awesome at the run or awesome at the pass, that's when McDermott comes up with these game plans to hedge on that. But when he can't hedge and he has to go, wait, I have to respect both things they do on a 2nd and 6, that's when the dam seems to break in Buffalo. And I don't think I'm crazy in saying, you correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong to say that Trevor Lawrence is, through the regular season play at the end of the year, the hottest quarterback going into the playoffs right now? I don't think that's a crazy statement, right? So I'm going to ride with Trevor Lawrence and the confidence he's playing right now with Liam Cohn and everything they got going on that offensive side of the ball.
Did you put him on your MVP ballot?
I did not. You want to know? I'll tell you my MVP ballot if you want to hear it.
No, don't. No. I know. We've already established they don't want us to talk about our votes, although I've noticed all of the various awards are off the board at DraftKings, which is smart. Now that somebody has access to all the votes and it's an outside accounting firm, don't let people bet on it anymore, because there is a real danger of inside information being misused. But they don't want us to. They don't want us to do it.
Well,
and
here,
I know that they pay us so much
for conversation.
They pay us so much that we shouldn't.
Yeah, and
I
don't remember signing a contract, so I don't really care, right? But either way, I'll tell you the names on mine, right? I had 3 quarterbacks on there: Drake May, Stafford, and Josh Allen. And then I went Myles Garrett. And then the other one I put on there is Micah Parsons, right? In a year where it was hard to figure out who 4 or 5 or those guys down the line, I went with those 2. Because first off, I don't really need to explain Myles Garrett. Second off, I don't really think I need to explain Micah Parsons. He gets hurt, the team falls apart, and we all went, hey, they could go to the Super Bowl, and he went hurt, and we went, I don't think they can go to the Super Bowl anymore. Does that mic drop? That's all I got to say. So, yeah, those are the 5 that were on my list, just so you know. Not in that order.
They call it most valuable performance they don't give us much by way of instructions, and a lot is left to interpretation. And you could argue that a player shows his value in his absence. And I remember there was a magazine that was around for like a year or 2 that the NFL got in partnership with. It was some Canadian company. And like so many things, the NFL drives a hard financial bargain, and it killed the company. But they made Peyton Manning the 2011 NFL MVP because his value was proven by his absence. He didn't play that year because he had 4 neck surgeries. He was the MVP because the Colts went to shit without him. So anyway, it's kind of that argument.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's what they're looking for, but again, we're not paid. There's no contract, and I'm going to keep pushing this. I'm going to keep pushing this until either they fire me or they do the right thing and provide some. If they want us to not talk about this and not do this, and if they want us to do the entire All-Pro team and all the awards by 3 p.m. Eastern the day after the season ends, it's time to make it worth our while. And I'm not looking for a lot. It's just a matter of principle.
Fire Florio.
For me,
Fire Florio. Fire Florio.
I'm not the one that's disclosed my votes publicly. I'm taking you down with me.
I love it. Would be great if I got an email. It would be great if I got an email before the show was over. It's like, you're no longer allowed to vote next year. You're done.
They finally took away Tom Brady's vote. They finally realized an owner of a team should not be voting on league-wide awards or all-pro teams. So sanity finally prevailed in that regard. I'll go with my new friend. My new friend Brock Purdy, 49ers quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, he's been there. He's done that.
Yeah.
He's made it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it would have been 2 if he didn't have the elbow injury in the stadium he's going back to on Saturday night. So he made Josh Allen plays in that Sunday night game against the Chicago Bears. The stop, start, change of direction, touchdown pass to Kyle Juszczyk was a thing of beauty. That's Josh Allen. They used to say, if Patrick Mahomes did that, everybody would lose their mind. When Brock Purdy did that play, if Josh Allen did that, we would lose our minds. And he made it look easy. So my new friend Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I get
full
you.
interview is available at the NFL and NBC YouTube channel. Yeah, we had a nice conversation. He's got a Toyota gig. We've got a Toyota thing. It was a nice natural fit. And I'm a believer in the 49ers. Even though they lost last week, I'm a believer in Purdy, and I'm a believer in the 49ers.
Listen, I hear you there. I'm not as much of a believer in the 49ers as you are with Purdy, too. I hear you. I have confidence in him. The problem I have there is just the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense. I mean, would I be surprised? I mean, again, he looked like Josh Allen-ish against the Bears, but then, last week against the Seahawks, it kind of looked like Josh Smith. I don't know, right? So that's where the Eagles could put the onus on Brock Purdy in a big way, where they go, wait, we're not going to let Shanahan just get off on every little schematic thing. Like, you're going to have to make some big-time plays yourself. I have confidence in him. I think the reason I didn't pick him or wouldn't pick him quite yet is just because that damn Eagles defense. I mean, we're sitting here with Drake May on the board. Drake May, possibly the MVP of football, and we haven't said it. And I just want to clarify, because the Chargers' pass defense is awesome. It has nothing to do with Drake May. Before I get dragged online and we put this on social media and everybody says that. People have a hard time throwing against the Chargers. That's why I'm a little scared to pick them there. All right? So the next one I'm going to go with here, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert over him. I am. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I just feel that, and I don't know, this is to me a coin flip game. Coin flip. But, I look at it and go, I got to think there's going to be an edge about the Chargers, right? I do think you can throw the ball on the Patriots a little bit. We know the Chargers will stay patient with the run. The Patriots, Christian Gonzalez, the man. Marcus Jones, the man at nickelback. But Carlton Davis on the other side, he can be had there. And I do think that they're going to have to rely on throwing the football, and Justin Herbert's going to be big time. They took the week off last week. I think specifically for this matchup, this is a risky pick by me, but I'm going to go with Justin Herbert here.
Yeah, look, Herbert is the kind of guy who has the ability to take over a game.
He does.
He doesn't slip into that zone as often as his size and his objective skills would suggest that he should or could. But if that guy shows up, the Chargers
and he showed up a lot this year,
end.
Maybe more than any other year, right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing we've been impressed by watching him on Sundays is his ability to extend plays and will a team, to make the backyard plays that we've talked about that maybe he doesn't do to the extent some of the other top quarterbacks in football do.
Jim Harbaugh's been coaxing badass out of Justin Herbert, and they could take out the Patriots and Drake May. I feel like I should have Drake May here, but we don't know what Drake May is going to do in the playoffs. I'm looking at people where I know that I have seen proven performance in the past and consistent performance in the past. And also, I'm going to throw on top of it a keen appreciation that this may be the last time. Look at how Aaron Rodgers played on Sunday night, a de facto playoff game, which with each throw he knew there's a good chance it's the last time. Give me Aaron Rodgers against the Houston Texans.
You like it, Aaron Rodgers, eh?
I like it, Aaron Rodgers. The pasta and meatballs. Hey, we have reconfigured the recipe.
Right.
A little less oregano, a little more.
Whatever. A little more Malocchio. A little more Malocchio is what it is. Forget you.
It worked. Listen, double-barreled, pointing it out the window of the hotel in the direction of the stadium, and it worked. So, Aaron, I got you covered. I got the Malocchios ready to go. I'll be ready. I think I want to try to go to the game. I haven't really thought that far ahead because there's so much shit going on right now. I kind of want to go to the game Monday night.
All right, go. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Fly back Monday, just stay in Pittsburgh, go there. I mean, that sounds fun to me. I mean, listen, I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be ready for playoff football, but man, it's the mother freaking Houston Texans. Woo! 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 With an extra day of rest. That's what scares me, right? So that's where good. You could take them. I can't do it. All right, I can't do it right now. Damn here. Damn. All right. Gosh, I don't know what I want to do here. All right, I'm going to go Drake May. I really think about C.J. Stroud, just so to be full transparency here about what I'm thinking. There is a part of me because C.J. Stroud, and I look at it, and I don't think the Steelers' defense is all that in a bag of chips, just like we saw last week. And I think the Texans are close on offense. You kind of look closely here. I know it's not been a well-oiled machine, but they've been making some big plays in the pass game. They've been running the ball better lately. But I will take Drake May just because I believe in the Patriots. I believe in Josh McDaniels. I believe in the game plan, right? You said it right. We don't know how he's going to react. This is a team this is new territory for them. It is. But they got some coaches, I think, that, can make them feel like they've been there and done that before. I think they'll have the proper game plan. And, of course, he's phenomenal talent, right? He's a phenomenal talent that, I expect to rise to the occasion. It's just going to be a challenge like we talked about because the Chargers don't let anybody go off in the pass game.
We're going to get dragged for leaving Jalen Hurts off this list, but
really?
How can we have sufficient confidence in a guy who runs an offense that disappears for half of games?
Right.
They slip into a coma. They go into hibernation, and they still win, but you're going to get one of these playoff games where you disappear for half of a game and you're going to lose.
Right.
When you're playing the best of the best, you can't disappear for half of a game.
No, I agreed. That's what's tough. The thing you look at it a little bit is just go, hey, the 49ers defense, we know it's not real impressive. Can they make some plays here? I think when you look at it from a personnel standpoint and you just look at it on paper, you go, the Eagles should steamroll the San Francisco 49ers. If the Eagles are playing even remotely like they were last year as far as running the football, you'd go, oh my gosh, this is going to be bad for the 49ers with all the injuries and everything they got there on the defensive side of the ball. But we've seen the Eagles can't really run the football all that well this year. So that's been an issue. And then, like you said, there's been all the other problems to go along with it. It's not a top-notch passing offense. It hasn't performed at a high level. And like you said, they disappear for periods of time that are just crazy.
So with all that said, here is my final pick.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Right.
This is complete and total pasta and meatballs coupled with eyeball test, coupled with I love this guy, Malik Willis. Off the board. We don't even have him down here. Give me Malik Willis. I have confidence in him. If Malik Willis plays, and I'm pushing hard, hey, Matt LaFleur, you want to end this John Harbaugh talk? Get Malik Willis into this game. All due respect to Jordan Love, get Malik Willis out there. They can't defend him, and it's fun to watch him. And he's going to be a starter somewhere. I have confidence in Malik Willis. I don't have confidence they're going to use him. But if they do, I have the utmost confidence in him.
Well, I hear, I love it too, but you might get dragged on social media if we release it for
That's fine.
For this one. But I hear
fine.
You.
Nobody cares.
He's still banged
for
up.
For something like this, nobody cares.
He's still a little banged up, right? Didn't I see yesterday he was kind of limited in practice?
Yeah.
But regardless, I agree with a lot of what you said. You said yesterday, I would not be shocked if they had a package if they felt like he was totally healthy to do some of the quarterback design run stuff and kind of trick the Bears that way. But Malik Willis, yes, has superstar type of talent, right? And then there's another story of, again, like think about that draft, him, right, and Kenny Pickett. Right, there was and
Matt Corral.
Right, and those are the guys those are the guys I kind of fell in love with at first. Right, it was Malik Willis and Matt Corral, and I remember dragged by people in the NFL too. Like, oh my God, you're gonna put Malik Willis in front of Kenny Pickett, right? But at the same time, it's like this is where sometimes I wish I would have just fought back harder to go. Damn, I mean the problems with Kenny Pickett. Okay, yeah, he could play in the pocket. He gets them in the right check. He makes no impressive throws, no impressive plays. Malik Willis, okay, it's a little rough around the edges, but there's like 6 or 7 plays every game where you're like, holy crap, nobody can do that. Right? And that's to me, and again, once you figure out, hey, the guy likes football and he's pretty smart and he can handle some offense and he's not an idiot that way, he should have been valued higher. He really should have. And I think some of the stuff where he left Auburn and transferred from there because some things happened, I think all of that hurt him. But I really like this Malik Willis story and I'm really rooting for him.
It just shows you that where you go as your initial destination is going to shape dramatically how you're perceived. It's going to control how often you play, where you are on the depth chart, and whether you get the opportunities to thrive.
Right.
Do you remember who was drafted between Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis that year? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh. Man.
Desmond Ridder.
Thank you. You're right. Richard, you know my thoughts about that. Right.
Who is now on the Packers.
Right. Because they released Clayton Tune.
They got rid of Clayton, named that Tune.
But there's another guy.
They brought Desmond
doesn't
Ridder.
really have talent, was on an awesome team in college, and we drafted the team instead of the player. And if people want to know what goes on and why quarterback picks get blown more times than not, is because we drafted Alabama with Tua. Instead of just going, wait, there's a guy in the Northwest that's 6'5", runs 4'5", throws the ball 80 yards in the air, can play the position, has touch, knows how to play in the pocket, but we drafted Alabama. Good job. How's that working out, Miami? Yeah.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.